Feels good,
All right.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
let's bang out 25 and put a pin in that.
We're gonna bang at 25 and then yeah. Okay.
Very cool.
Let me set things up real quick for day 25. Oh, CP-R. I'm never gonna get good at shell. I think that's what I'm resigning myself to. I'm too
Are
much of a
any of us
GUI
really?
person. Yeah.
No, some of us are actually quite good. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to like daily drive Linux? Did you ever have like an inspiration to do that?
I've considered it. I don't know. I grew up on a Mac, and I'm just not a good Linux user. Sasha says the Monad program is actually quite nice, by the way, in terms of what it's doing.
In terms of doing the analysis. Yeah, we actually spent some time yesterday trying to figure out exactly what it's doing. If you want to give us a hint, maybe we can talk about it a little bit later. Let's do 25 first, and we can swing back around if we're feeling like it.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Yeah, I am really curious what the program actually did.
Yeah.
Because I think we got frustrated at disassembly.
Yeah, well, chat yesterday was like, you can do it brute force, or you can try to figure it out. Figuring it out is hard. So we agreed with them. We were like, okay, yeah, it seems hard. So we were like, okay, we'll do it the brute force way. This is it. The bottom of the ocean trench, the last place the sleigh keys could be. Your submarine's experimental antenna still isn't boosted enough to detect the keys, but they must be here. All you need to do is reach the seafloor and find them. At least you touch down the seafloor, and if you could, unfortunately, it's completely covered by two large herds of sea cucumbers. We know what sea cucumbers are. We don't need to do the whole Wikipedia excursion, right?
Nope. That's a common one. They could have picked a weirder animal for today.
Yeah. And there isn't an open space large enough for your submarine. You suspect the elves must have done this before, because just then you discover the phone number of a deep sea marine biologist on a handwritten note taped to the wall of the submarine's cockpit. Sea cucumbers, yeah, they're probably hunting for food, but don't worry, they're predictable critters. They move in perfectly straight lines, only moving forward when there's space to do so. They're actually quite polite. You explain that you'd like to predict when you could land your submarine. Oh, that's easy. They'll eventually pile up and leave enough space for, wait, did you say submarine? And the only place with that many sea cucumbers would be the very bottom of the Mariana. You hang up the phone. You just didn't want to listen to it. You know, you're like, enough, nerd. I don't care. There are two herds of sea cucumbers sharing the same region. One always moves east, while the other moves south. Each location can contain at most one sea cucumber. Therefore, the remaining locations are empty. The submarine helpfully generates a map of the situation. For example, every step the sea cucumbers in the east-facing herd attempt to move forward one location, then the sea cucumbers in the south-facing herd attempt to move forward one location. When a herd moves, every sea cucumber in the herd first simultaneously considers whether there is a sea cucumber in the adjacent location it's facing. And then every sea cucumber facing an empty location simultaneously moves into that location. Okay, so we do all the easts at once, update the state. Then we do all the souths at once and update the state, right? And
so you'll never have you don't have to worry about any collision because we're doing one direction than the other. That's not bad.
Right. So when we do the easts, all of them, we check whether they can move based on the previous state and then update the state. And then we do the souths using this new state, and they do the check against that new state. And then we update like a whole new state to actually handle their moves, right?
Yep.
So the south moving ones don't block each other from their new position, right? So I think we kind of get that. Due to strong water currents in the area, sea cucumbers that move off the right edge of the map appear on the left edge, and sea cucumbers that move off the bottom edge of the map appear on the top edge. So we've got some asteroids wrap around.
Yep. It's a video game.
Sea cucumbers always check whether their destination location is empty before moving, even if that destination is on the opposite side of the map. Okay, so there's just wrap around, right? To find a safe place to land your submarine, the sea cucumbers need to stop moving. Again, consider the first example, blah, blah, blah. So what is a safe location? How big is a submarine? Did they say? Did I miss that?
Oh, they just said it needs to stop moving. So in their data at 58 steps, they're done.
Oh, basically there's just no mutation anymore because they're all blocked.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you imagine designing this puzzle and like having to come up with inputs that basically stabilize over time? I guess you would just try a bunch of different inputs and see which ones stabilize. But is there a deeper mathematical truth here? And the answer is yes, there is, right? Somehow, but like
there must be, yeah.
Yeah. How can you prove that they will eventually stop or not stop?
That's what I'm wondering. Do they always stop?
Yeah.
Is that like a guarantee? It might be.
This is a big input.
Oh, it's quite, yeah. Oof.
Let's parse it.
Yep.
So what are we getting? We're just getting like a vector of characters.
Mm-hmm. Now, are we just going to look at every space and write a function to check its direction, look ahead, and choose to move it or not? Because this is big, but it's not.
It's not that big, right?
No, it's not that big. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't scream that's too much to do for every step.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's too much. Okay, well, we'll just read it and we'll just do it. Do we want characters? Characters is fine, right? It means that like when we update the thing, we'll just be updating. We'll be writing characters back into the grid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do let result or mutable result equals. We might be able to do a slick little collect thing here. So let's do source.lines dot enumerate. Do we need the index? I don't think we do, right? Map dot collect. So this will be collecting into a vector of vectors. So we got a line in here, and then our lines. I don't think this actually needs to be that complicated because it's just going to be line singular dot chars dot collect. That's it.
Well, this is easy. This is kind of a gimme compared to the last one. I appreciate that.
It's a little bit of a layup, right?
And thank goodness.
And thank goodness for that. Yes. He's letting us off easy on Christmas. Woo! That's a lot. The very last line is greater than dot greater than.
Sure is.
Okay. Do you believe that it works? I don't want to scrutinize it anymore. I'm just going to say that
I think it's good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just do it. What is a simulation step? I guess we're just like
I guess the game loop is run east, run south, go until. So one thing we do need to track is the fact that a mutation does or doesn't happen. So like number of cucumbers that move every turn, or just a bool that says any cucumber moved for east or south.
Yeah, and this will be slower if we're mutating this. Maybe we should just overwrite the same thing over and over again. We do have to snapshot the state, so we're always going to have to clone at least once, right? Let's not prematurely optimize. Let's just do this. Let's just do it.
I think it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. And then bool is whether or not we stopped or whether or not something moved. Either or, it's fine.
One of them, yeah.
Let's just call this state. So eastward and then southward, right? That's essentially the loop, right? And then what it's gonna look like this. And then what we're gonna do is like we're just gonna like loop let state moved equals run east sim. I guess state needs to be mutable, right? think this is going to declare a new variable. What are we actually counting? The number of loops?
We're counting the number of steps through the loop. Yeah. Yep. So each east-south is 1.
So what if it's only just east?
Well, I think we have to loop until both values come back as
false.
Nothing moving, because if one step can move but one can't, the next run through the other step could possibly move.
Understood. Okay. So let's let mute east res.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not? Are we saying that the Boolean is they moved?
The Boolean. Sure. Yeah. I think like the Boolean has movement or something.
Otherwise, state equals southres dot 0.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right. Well, so let's just bang these out, shall we?
Do it.
So we need to have a result that is equal to state.clone, right? We're going to be writing into that.
Mm-hmm.
Should we actually just create a thing that is all periods so we don't have to like unset stuff? Is that?
Oh. I guess we want like a function that That's interesting. /life says, I was on a channel with some devs of the actual problem today, and they said this particular problem is based on a real problem about cyclic behavior and initial densities. That's cool.
That is interesting. Yeah. I guess that relates to our question of whether or not we know whether we can prove things will settle or not, right?
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like it's a harder question than anticipated.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of like high level physics, experimental physics, is about writing these like really precise incremental simulations, right? You're essentially just doing
I bet so, yeah.
Yeah. You're essentially just doing like you're trying to do calculus integration when you can't resolve it analytically, like on the chalkboard. You have to just simulate it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe if we had a function that was like move east and move south for a position, and then it could just modify whatever frames it needs to in the state.
Yeah, we let's write the outer logic and then see what that mutation looks like.
Okay.
So the result is just like a snapshot of what we had before. So then we're just going to go for the row and I'm going to just say I row. I is the index and row is the actual like vector of characters for that row.
Okay.
In state. And then for state.iter.enumerate, I think that's what we want. Enumerate gives us the pair of the row index and the row content. And then we're going to do the same thing on the column. In row.iter.enumerate. And the reason why we need IJ is we need to be able to like check neighboring cells, right?
Yep.
Okay. So if we are moving east, so if this is a dot, if it's actually just the object, right? What do we want to call this thing? Is it just a char?
Oh, is that
this is the element?
one?
Yeah. If the element is equal to a period, then we just continue, right? We don't care. And
if
then
it's
what
equal
we do,
to a down, we also don't care.
Oh, yes, because we only care about the yes.
Bingo.
Okay, so we want to check the one ahead, right? But then we also need to know the width, right? Because we need to do wraparound, right? Let width equals state 0 dot length. If j plus 1 modulo width, is that what we're talking about? State of the row at this is not equal to dot, then we continue. Right? That's the move forward check. How do we call this? Let next call equals j plus 1, this whole thing, modulo the width. And this will give us our wraparound, right?
Yep, I love it.
Okay. If it's not equal, if it's not open, then we continue. Otherwise, we do this next, or result ij is empty, and result I next column is this.
Yep.
And then we return the result. So far, so good?
So far, so good.
What are you complaining about? Oh, we need a Boolean. So we can say let mute moved. It's not. It's we're basically saying it's moved, right? And it's false here.
Yeah.
Then moved is true. And this is res moved. So this is us going south now. And why is it complaining? You would think that this function would be exactly the same.
I was complaining about the first time too.
Okay.
Are we? No, that looks right.
Oh, I think no, I'm not modifying state. Why are you complaining? Is it because if I dereference here, it becomes okay? Yeah, it was complaining because I was dereferencing here. Because if I dereference, it moves the vector into a new variable, and therefore this one can't own it anymore, or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
Sweet.
Okay. So now we care about the height, right?
So just state.length. Yeah.
And if it's not equal to a down, is that capital V or lowercase v? It looks like lowercase v.
I think that's lowercase, yeah.
Okay. Next row is I plus 1 modulo height. Next row, j. And then this is now next row, j.
What? Unhappy. What?
It probably complained about it up here too. Oh, did I just modify the wrong thing? Oh, no.
No.
It just complained about it really late. Isn't that weird?
That was pretty strange, yeah.
Okay, I want to double check the state. I want to make sure I did the right thing. So for East Sim, grab the width, clone the result, clone the current state into like a result thing. We say nothing has moved yet. Iterate over the rows and columns. If we're not looking like at an east facing one, we don't care. We get the next column that wants to jump into, which is just its current column plus 1 modulo the width for wraparound. If that cell is actually occupied, if it's not unoccupied, then we need to skip. Otherwise, we empty out the current space, populate the next space, and then mark the move flag. And we do that for everything, and then we return that. Okay, so far so good. And then this is height. We're looking for downward ones. The next row is I plus 1 modulo height. We're checking the next row with the current column, making sure it's empty. We empty out the current spot, and then we populate that. This needs to be lowercase v, right? Good thing we checked. And then move to string. Yep. This is needs to be mutable. And you are complaining because it doesn't need to be mutable. Oh, because we're not writing these at all.
And then we just need to print n at the end. Oh, you do it right there. Never mind. Okay.
Okay. There it is.
Bring it on.
According to the console, the keys are directly under the submarine. You landed right on them. Using a robotic arm on the submarine, you move the sleigh keys into the airlock. Now you just need to get them to Santa in time to save Christmas. It's actually too late. This is not, it's already Christmas. That ship is sailed.
I did on this last night, yeah.
You check your clock. It is Christmas. There's no way you can get them back to the surface in time. Okay. Just as you start to lose hope, you notice a button on the sleigh keys, remote start. You can start the sleigh from the bottom of the ocean. You just need to get some way to boost the signal from the key so it actually reaches the sleigh. Good thing the submarine has that experimental antenna. You'll definitely need 50 stars to boost it that far, though. The experimental antenna control console lights up again. Energy source detected, blah, 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 blah. Boost physical strength due to matching signal phase 1 star. Only 49 stars to go.
We got a star.
We got a star. You have enough stars to remotely start the sleigh. We're going to click on it. You used all 50 stars, and we have finished Advent of Code 2021.
Saved Christmas. Nice work.
We saved Christmas? ?
Maybe a little late. Wait, what are the Easter eggs?
Live, good game.
Yes. Good game.
Yes.
GG, well played.
Yeah, well played. That was great.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Dom, for doing this with me. And
my pleasure. I'm glad I got to do a bunch of these.
Yeah. And thank you very much, chat, everyone in chat for riding along. /life. Aizu Koje, happy holidays to you. It's really good to see you.
We don't plug that we actually live code on stream all the time.
Yeah. Do you want to give a plug? Because now that Advent of Code is over, we're going to be streaming a little bit less than we normally we have been the last month. But you want to plug us?
Yeah, but we do stream every Wednesday night of the week at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and we're live coding a video game in Unity. And next week we're doing a game jam, so we'll probably actually have a bunch of streams at other odd hours as well, but definitely Wednesday nights. So
yeah, next Wednesday, I don't think we'll have started the game jam yet, but there'll maybe be a little bit of planning. I don't know if planning
we'll be doing like game jam planning.
Yeah,
is it kosher? I don't know.
Yeah, is it in the spirit of the game jam? Whatever. This is a hard one, so I think maybe a little bit of planning will help.
But we really love live coding, and we love when people come and watch us. So I don't know. I hate to say it, but don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
If
you like hanging out with us.
What I wish we had at this point is a Discord, because there was a lot of people that came into the Advent of Code chats, and they seem like cool people to just hang out. We should have just had the Discord ready for them to come out and chat off hours.
We've learned a lesson for next year.
Yeah, we have learned a lesson for next year. It's true. Or maybe there's another. I think Advent of Code is by far the most popular of this type of activity, but maybe there's something else that we can do where people can just come and hang and just bullshit about the problems and stuff.
Yeah, but this was really fun, and it was really nice having folks come and chat about it with us. So
we finished this way faster than I thought I was, which means that I am on the hook to head back to the family and DM some Dungeons and Dragons, which I didn't do yesterday, but I think I'm on the hook now. I got an explicit request for it.
That sounds like a great time. So please go enjoy your DMing, and I'll see you next week.
I'll tell you what's sweet about that is that my nephews got a bajillion toys. They are friggin' privileged Berkeley kids, It's just incredible how much material stuff they got. But my nephew is still what I want to do this afternoon is for you to play RPGs with me.
That's the sweetest thing in the world.
Yeah, so I beat out all of that material excess. Maybe he'll change his mind because I did get him a couple of downloadable Switch codes. And if Nintendo's Switch server, if the Nintendo Online Store server is still in a healthy position this afternoon, maybe he'll just want to play Splatoon 2.
I noticed none of the major stores seem to have gone down. It's a Christmas miracle. Unlike
I saw on Hacker News that I think Nintendo was having some ish this morning.
Okay.
And in fairness to them, they're probably the most popular, right? So
they are. I know I'm a PlayStation fan, but I know that Nintendo is actually the winner of all this stuff.
Yeah. All right, Dominic, and all right, chat on Twitch. We're gonna head out. Everyone stay safe, please, and we'll see you next time. Yeah.
Oh, Jeff, hang on. Oh, Nathaniel Pumpo just popped in the chat. Say, how do we solve 24? We brute forced it.
We brute forced it. Exactly as you recommended. We depth first searched it. Oh wait, didn't we want to talk a little bit? Do you want to take the next 10 minutes and just think about the problem? Or do you want to just go? Let's just go.
No,
let's just go.
It's Christmas.
Let's go. It's Christmas. We will maybe I'll just like sit down and have a think about it later and then yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool.
Take it easy, everybody.
Bye, everyone.